Let's bring in House Minority Whip, Congressman Steny Hoyer of Maryland. Also with us, President and CEO of Politico and Capital New York, Jim Vandehei. Good to have you both. Steny,
good morning.
I know that a lot of Democrats were celebrating when this shocking news went down the night before last, but you never know what you're going to get in these situations. How do you think the replacement for Cantor and this whole thing will play out as we move forward?
Well, we'll see. I think what the election showed was what we've been saying along, that the Republican Party is a deeply divided, dysfunctional party at this point in time, with great differences internally, which are making it very difficult for them to lead in a positive way. We'll see who replaces Mr. Cantor now that he's stepped down, and it will be some indication of whether they're going to stay far right or go even further right. It's going to show as well whether or not we will be able to be functional and move forward on important agendas that the overwhelming majority of the American people support.
Joe.
But you, Steny, it's always great to see you, buddy. Wasn't this really more, though, about a congressman who was out of touch with his district than an internal war inside the GOP, which I've been talking about in 2009, 2010, 2011. That's been resolved for the most part. If you look around the country, you've got this race, you've got Thad Cochran's race, but other than that, Main Street Republicans won. So it's not as divided today, is it, as it was, say, even 2 years ago?
Well, we'll see, Joe. We're going to have an election for majority leader. We'll see what that portends. But when you say, look at the Texas results in Dewhurst, I still think that the party is deeply divided between what we perceive to be its very conservative wing and its far right, more radical wing. And I think the Tea Party is going to be energized by this election. I think they're going to feel that they have better chances all over the country. We'll see what happens in Mississippi. So I think there's still the question is out, Joe, as to whether or not they clearly, for political reasons, they believe that their division has been hurting themselves electorally. And they've been trying to get back together. We'll see whether they can do that. I doubt it.
Katty Kay.
I was just wondering if I could pick up on what you were saying there about policies, because everyone's talking about the fact that this is clearly a defeat for Eric Cantor and for the establishment bit of the Republican Party. But if you actually look at what policies might have passed if Eric Cantor had stayed in his position, are there any policies that you think now won't get through? Because, I mean, let's be honest, nothing was going to happen anyway, right, for the next 2 years. I mean, immigration reform was not going to go anywhere.
Well, I don't know about the next 2 years, Katie. I think the election will tell us whether or not we're going to be able to move forward on issues that the American people overwhelmingly support. Comprehensive immigration reform, over 70%. The Wall Street Journal wrote an editorial this morning that you perhaps read, which indicated that Republicans believe that comprehensive immigration reform ought to move forward. And the overwhelming majority of people, the Export-Import Bank, we passed that with over 300 votes the last time we authorized it a couple of years ago. We need to get that done. Minimum wage supported overwhelmingly by the American people. There are so many issues that we could address. Highway reauthorization needs to be done. So there are so many important issues the American people believe that Congress ought to get done. We'll see whether or not the Republican majority in the House of Representatives will respond to what clearly the majority of the American people think ought to be happening in the Congress, or whether we'll continue the gridlock, which I assert is a result of the Republican gridlock and inability to overcome its internal divisions so that they can move forward on the agenda of the American people.
I want to bring in Jim.
Voting Rights Act. Let me say the Voting Rights Act is another.
Let's bring in Willie, if we can. We have a lot of people around the table.
I want to bring in Jim Bennett. I just wanted to say quickly, though, Congressman, I understand you have a very significant birthday coming up this weekend. So happy early birthday to you, sir. It says here you've got ice cream, cake, and a DJ at your party. Do you know who the DJ will be? Scribble or Avicii, something like that?
You know, I don't know which DJ they're going to send this year. But this is the 33rd year that I've had this birthday party as a member of Congress, and we have about 1,200, 1,300 people. Right. So it'll be a big shindig tomorrow night.
That's awesome. Well, happy birthday. It sounds like fun. Jim, let me go to you.